G'day guys, Sam here from Trade to Prosper, looking at injective and seeing how we can trade this. From a macro perspective, it's important to have some targets and key levels. So you know the dips, and then therefore you can have a bullish or bearish scenario. With Bitcoin, as we know, we are shorting it. We still feel like there's a bit more to go down. I'm looking at the 36, 37 range as a major support. So I'll be looking to long there. But I think we'll be here for a few months. And if you look at this chart, and based on that thought, while Bitcoin goes sideways, there might be episodes where the alts actually do well. So let's have a look at injective. We've been talking about injective for a while, and time to revisit. Here I have on the top left 21 moving averages, EMA and SMA, 200 moving averages, and 50 and 100, and they're in order. So if we look at this on the daily, we can see that the 50 and the 55 moving average, we tend to see which one's more relevant. And then we've got the 21 moving averages, which have broken the trend. Now we're on the 50 moving average trend, and that could be on the weekly. So if we look on the weekly, it's still looking all right. But I dare say that once we lose that, we are looking to come down to the next weekly level. And let's just put that in. That's our weekly level. We hit it once before, and that took out a lot of the liquidity with this wick here. And then the next weekly level. So there's a big gap there. And then we got our point of control using another tool. And so let's have a look on the daily. That weekly level was important. And we've got the daily level on top. So if we look at this, if we lose this level, then we're likely to check this weekly. And if we get a good response, then we can look for another range. So if we look on the daily level, actually I'll pick the 3-day chart. So my weekly level and 3-day chart is significant. And we've seen that this level has demand, has had demand before. So what we can do is, okay, that is our liquidity. Just below that is our liquidity. We might just do this for now. That took out the liquidity, so we might just revisit that level. Maybe we'll just, if we lose this, basically, if we lose this level, I'm looking at coming down, maybe hit the 100, and then if we see regain, we go long. And that applies our Wyckoff structure. So if this was our buying climax, that was our AR moment response, that was our secondary up thrust. And now we're doing the secondary test. So if we're looking from a accumulation of Wyckoff or reaccumulation, so secondary test, I'm looking at this as the base, and I'm looking at this whole structure as a reaccumulation. If we lose that, then we are going to go really down. We might hit that, and then we'll find this as a resistance. So, and then we hit this macro supporting trend line. So I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. And just like here, it was bullish for a while, and the accumulation range really gave this pump. And this could be a topping off structure. We might cut if we lose this level, especially this level here. I think we'll come down. Now let's apply our Elliott wave count to this bottom, and the 618's there. Okay, let's just make sure. Okay, the 618's there as well with the log system. So here it makes sense that we'll get some support. And as I said, let's just get rid of all these writings. So the 618, we might get a wick. Now looking at this, let's go to the daily. If we get a drop, this is going to be resistance, and then therefore we might just get a bit of a wick, get the 618 and the daily POC. So if the naked point of control, if we lose this naked point of, this moving average, and we obviously lose this level, then we look at the next level. 100 moving average is not really a powerful level, and so I'm looking at the Fibonacci with the 618, this with the naked point of control and the fair value gap. This makes good sense that this price might just come down. How it comes down is it's going to be difficult, because when these moving averages come, we might get a rejection, and that's where we need to see the bulls come in for a push up. Otherwise, it's likely to drop, and we might get a bit of a bounce, take out the liquidity, but that moving average is going to still keep coming down, so we might just get that. Depending on the formation, we might see a breakout to go long, but at this point, I do see this as a more likely scenario, and this is the real bearish scenario, which is 18. I don't think it's going to happen, but it possibly can. Now, if we look at, let's look at indicators. We're looking at this indicator on the daily. It's still a bit of bullish divergence coming in on the daily, but it's not there yet. So if you look at this indicator, we want to see a crossover with these signals, and at the moment we don't have that. If we look at this Phoenix indicator, everything is below the 50% on the daily, so we want to see this start to turn upwards before we start being bullish. On the 12-hour, it's still downward pressure, so we might just get a bit of a support here, but yeah, I'll look at, if anything, if there's a bounce, look for the 618 level. Look for the 618 level for or the 0.5, actually, the 0.5 in confluence with these values. I think it will tap it, and that's when we're looking for a shorting position. So here's a trade. If it comes up here, look to short and back down again. And this is where we want to see another, maybe another sweep, a bit lower, and then it could go bearish or it can actually go bullish. Depends on what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin can look for the short squeeze as well. So if that takes place, we can see this up.
There you have it. Please give Sam a like, share, and subscribe to his channel to support him for doing more of these posts.